Market rate rents in Silicon Valley continue to be among the highest in the nation. It's becoming more challenging to be able to find an affordable rental, and that just makes it harder for families. So they choose to either drive long distances to get to their place of employment, they overcrowd, rather than being able to move out on their own.
Wait lists that we see oftentimes are 500,000, north of 1,000. I mean, they really are ongoing.
There's over 69,000 families in Santa Clara County that are severely rent burdened, which means they spend over 50% of their income on their housing costs. Families that are one paycheck away from being out on the streets.
One of the things we see is the need for family housing. We see families living in garages paying $1,600 a month. They can't afford to live in anything else. We see kids coming from homeless families, a kid living on the street and the family living doubled up, tripled up in a house. So there really needs to be affordable rental space for families and kids. I think that's the most critical need in this community.
My mother was addicted to drugs. She was battered. And even growing up in care, I've had a lot of friends that have been in the same situation. I feel like there are not enough housing environments like this for a youth like me, transitional age youth or homeless youth. And a lot of times I see my peers not going to school because they have to pay rent, which in Silicon Valley is really high. And if you don't have a college degree, living on your own or even with one person, you're gonna struggle.
Nuestra situación era que vivíamos muy limitados en un apartamento de una recámara, ¿verdad? Ya que en el área de la bahía es costoso vivir en apartamento. Para mí ser dueño es lo mejor. Estoy viviendo el sueño americano y es el mejor futuro que le puedo dar a mi familia. No podíamos poderlo haber comprado sin la ayuda del programa.
The high cost of housing here is a huge concern for families and a barrier to our region remaining competitive. Many companies like Applied Materials have made Silicon Valley one of the best places in the world to work. And it's up to all of us to make sure that Silicon Valley remains a great place to live.
We really need investment from the community, from Silicon Valley, to say, this is a priority for us and we're going to put our money behind it.
We all know that Silicon Valley is one of the most expensive housing markets in the country. But with help from the Housing Trust, including low-interest loans and down payment assistance, thousands of low-income families and first-time home buyers have been able to purchase homes. The Trust has become a national model of how civic leaders working with local employers, working with foundations and state and federal housing agencies can address the high cost of housing and help more families afford their own homes. Thank you to the Housing Trust of Santa Clara County for making life better for thousands of California families.